Blips and Grips, the big dumb Salem witch likes mini apple cider donuts. Prologue. Amidst the serene solitude of little Lake of Linmere, where the contemplative mind finds solace in the gentle caress of nature's embrace, a tale unfolds that transcends the boundaries of time and space. It is a tale of two unlikely adventurers, Blips and Grips, hailing from a distant realm, who stumble upon the quaint village of Salem, Massachusetts, in the tumultuous year of 1692. In this era of fervent piety and puritanical fervor, where the shadows of superstition lengthen and the spectre of witchcraft casts its ominous pall, Blips and Grips, with their peculiar contraptions and otherworldly demeanor, find themselves ensnared in a web of fear and paranoia. The villagers, their hearts gripped by the icy tendrils of suspicion, perceive these strangers as harbingers of dark forces, their very presence a threat to the delicate balance of their theocratic society. Blips, adjusting his totally awesome shades. I may have miscalculated the chronon coordinates by a few time particle thingies, but I'm certain this is the right place. If you say so, Grips shrugged. But when are we? Blips shuddered. Dum-dum, this is Salem in 1692. The witch trials are in full swing. We need to be careful. Little did they know, their caution would be in vain. For they were about to become entangled in a web of fear, paranoia, and accusations, where the line between reality and superstition blurred, and the consequences of their presence would ripple through time itself. The misadventures begin. Their time machine, the chrononautilus, sputtered and coughed, its chronon gauge flashing ominously. "Rutrow," Blips muttered. "We're low on chronon juice." Before he could elaborate, the chrononautilus lurched violently, crash-landing in a cornfield outside Salem village. The impact sent shockwaves through the village, causing villagers to spill out of their homes, their faces etched with fear and suspicion. Blips and Grips emerged from the wreckage, disoriented and covered in corn husks. The villagers, armed with pitchforks and torches, surrounded them, their eyes wide with alarm. "What manner of creatures are these?" a stern-faced woman shrieked. "They must be witches," a man bellowed. "Burn them." Blips, ever the quick thinker, raised his hands in a gesture of surrender. "Wait," he squeaked. "We're not witches. We're time travelers." The villagers scoffed. "Time travelers?" the woman sneered. "Such nonsense." Grips, confused and frightened, cowered behind Blips. "I don't like this, Blips," she whimpered. "I want to go home." Blips, his mind racing, tried to explain their predicament. But the villagers, fueled by fear and ignorance, refused to listen. They saw Blips, with his small stature, as a bewitched child, and Grips, with her metallic form, as a powerful sorceress. The villagers seized them, dragging them to the village square, where a makeshift court had been assembled. The accusations flew, each more absurd than the last. Blips was accused of casting spells with his awesome shades, while Grips was accused of turning men into frogs and causing milk to curdle. Blips, desperate to save themselves, tried to reason with the villagers. But his words fell on deaf ears. The villagers, convinced of their guilt, sentenced them to be burned at the stake. As the flames licked at their feet, Blips and Grips shared a look of despair. They had faced many perils in their time travels, but none as terrifying as this. They had become victims of a time and place where fear and superstition reigned supreme. The flames, like ravenous wolves, relentlessly devoured the helpless structures, reducing them to smoldering ash. The screams of the villagers, a chorus of despair, pierced the once peaceful air, their echoes mingling with the crackling inferno. A grim spectacle unfolded in the heart of the village square, where life and laughter had once danced, now replaced by the macabre ballet of destruction and death. The very soul of the village seemed to writhe in agony, its cries echoing through the surrounding woods, a chilling lament carried on the wind to the distant hills. The flames roared around them, but Blips and Grips remained unscathed. Their metallic bodies gleamed in the firelight, impervious to the heat. "This is getting a bit toasty, even for me," Blips remarked, adjusting his totally awesome shades. "I stored a bag of those mini donuts in my storage compartment for later, Blips." I don't think they are gonna make it. Poor little donuts. Oh, come on, Grips, it's not that bad, Blips chirped. Besides, it's not like we haven't been in worse situations before. Worse? Grips scoffed. Name one time we've been in a worse situation than losing a bag of apple cider mini donuts before? Apple cider mini donuts, Blips. I was talking about being accused of witchcraft and then being roasted alive. But, remember the second time we went to Shadowglade Keep? Blips asked, a mischievous grin spreading across his face. Oh, not this again, Grips groaned. You always have to bring that up, don't you? Well, it was a pretty epic adventure, Blips said, puffing out his chest. And I was the one who saved the day. Saved the day? Grips shrieked. You almost got us killed. If it wasn't for me, we would have been trapped in that dungeon forever. Oh, please, Blips scoffed. I had it all under control. I was just waiting for the right moment to use my supersonic scream to shatter the dungeon walls. Supersonic scream? Grips scoffed. You mean that pathetic squeak you made that almost attracted the guards? It was a calculated risk, Blips retorted. And it worked, didn't it? Only because I managed to break the lock on the cell door while you were busy making a fool of yourself, Grips said, rolling her eyes. Oh, come on, Grips, you're just jealous because I got all the glory, Blips said, nudging Grips playfully. Jealous? Of what? Getting chased by a horde of townsfolk? Grips scoffed. I'd rather be back in that dungeon than listen to this. Oh, lighten up, Grips, Blips said, chuckling. It was all part of the adventure. As the flames continued to dance around them, Blips and Grips continued to bicker, their voices echoing through the village square. Their argument, however, was cut short when the villagers, realizing that the flames were having no effect on the two witches, began to panic. They must be demons. One villager cried. We'll never defeat them with fire, another shouted. The villagers, their faces pale with fear, began to scatter, leaving Blips and Grips alone in the flames. Well, that was unexpected, Blips remarked, adjusting his shades once again. Grips grumbled, now we're stuck in a village full of superstitious villagers who think we're demons. Oh, relax, Grips, Blips said, patting Grips on the shoulder. We'll figure something out. We always do. And with that, Blips and Grips stepped out of the flames, and decided to hang out in a cave for centuries until they could get some more Chronon juice into Chrononautilus. Only to come out to get some apple cider donuts from time to time. Epilogue, as the wheels of fate turn, Blips and Grips stand unyielding, their hearts filled with an indomitable spirit, ready to face their fate with unwavering resolve. For they know that even in the darkest of times, the robotic spirit, like the tenacious roots of the bur oak, can withstand the fiercest storms and emerge stronger, its branches reaching towards the heavens, its leaves rustling with the whispers of hope and resilience.